The ultimate challenge. Dominic Thiem aspired to become the 150th men's singles Grand Slam champion in history, the youngest since Novak Djokovic at 2012 Australian Open. Having defeated No. 2 seed Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinals, Dominic Thiem could become just the 9th man in the Open era to beat both the No.1 and No. 2 seeds at a Grand Slam, and just the 4th man to achieve the feat at Roland Garros. But he needs to overcome Rafa Nadal in their 10th meeting, all on clay. Nadal bids to equal the Austrian's 26 on red dirt this season, clinch his 11th Roland Garros title and remain on top of the rankings. If Nadal wins today, it will be the 6th consecutive Grand Slam title that has been won by either Federer or Nadal, which would be the joint second-longest streak of Grand Slam titles won exclusively by the pair. Predictably, Nadal, bidding to become the first player in the Open era to win 11 titles at 3 different tour-level events, is expected to avoid Thiem's forehand on serve. According to the ATP Serve and Return Tracker, collecting data from Masters 1000 and ATP Finals matches, Nadal hit 58% of his first serves and 69% of his second deliveries down the tee from the do side, while, from the ad side, 69% of his first serves and 45% of his second balls have been directed out wide, towards Thiem's backhand. The goal is clear. Thiem, having less time and space to return, often gives Rafa a shorter and easier ball to attack with his first stroke after serve. In their matches registered by the ATP tracker, Thiem hit more than 60% of his return, when the Mallorcan drilled a first serve down the tee from the deuce side, towards the middle of the court. So, he directed the ball in the ideal position for the new Nadal, the 11th player to play at least 450 tour-level matches on clay. The Spaniard has become more aggressive and shows an increasing need to dictate the rallies from the opening stages. Spectacularly, Thiem, for the second consecutive season the only man to beat Nadal on clay, has gone down the tee from the ad side against a tricky lefty like Nadal and tried to vary a bit more his choices from the deuce side, mixing down the tee and out wide deliveries. Last year, 63% of Thiem's first serves on clay were kick deliveries out wide, a choice that gave him 78% of points. Thiem can reach such an effectivity because of the particular hitting point and the slight lateral movement he can generate with the head of his racket. All these factors, combined with the clay's unique characteristics, create a challenging trajectoire, bouncing high and moving quickly towards the tram lines. We can expect to see Thiem, hoping to become the second number 7 seed to win the title here since Željko Franjulovic in 1970, used this strategy from the deuce side, almost as he did to counter Zverev's flat forehand returns. Nadal, who could become the 15th number 1 seed to clinch the title in Paris in the Open era, tends to return on the Chatrier over 4 meters behind the baseline. As a consequence, he'll be forced to hit the ball while it's falling down and to cover a larger portion of the court to move towards the center for the next shot. But he could neutralize this tactic by hitting a heavier and higher return deep to Thiem's body to have no time to recover a favorable position. So far in the tournament, Thiem maintained a higher first serve rate, having collected 73% of points to Nadal's 65.8. The Mallorcan, looking for his 17th slam, his 4th after turning 30, has a definitely more reliable second serve, as he won 63.3% of points to 56.7%. Even more stunningly, Nadal has used his return as a huge weapon, as the 48.7 points won when his opponents were serving testified. Thiem, on return, limited himself to a solid 43.7% of points. Efficiency with his own first shots often came with experience and decreases with pressure. Both factors will make Thiem's match even harder. Thiem managed to beat Nadal 3 times, but he owns a meager 4-5 win-loss record in 5-setters. Besides, the world number 1 is bidding to record his 237th Grand Slam match win today and extend sole ownership of 3rd place on the list for most Grand Slam match wins, behind only Federer, 332 Grand Slam match wins, and Djokovic, 244. Nadal is contesting his 451st tour-level clay court match today. by contesting his 450th tour-level clay court match in the semi-finals here. He became the 11th player in history to contest 450 tour-level matches on clay. He has a 414-36 win-loss record on clay and is fourth on the list for most tour-level clay court match wins in history, behind Guillermo Vilas' 631-159, Manuel Arantes' 453-138, and Thomas Muster, 426-127. Both players will aim to control and seal the points early. According to Craig O'Shaughnessy, the renowned analyst writing on Brain Tennis Games blog, Nadal finished 55% of his points and no more than 4 shots to clinch the semi-finals here, 10% fewer than the Austrian. Nadal, who made 89% of return in their last meeting in Madrid, needs to be aggressive. In the only set he lost so far, against Schwartzman, as Patrick Mouratoglou explained in his video series at Eurosport, he hit no more than 42% of his shots on the rise. A similar level could spur Thiem to go for his shots more freely. The Austrian will dictate the pace using his forehand as the main part of his game plan. So far this tournament, hit 58% of his ground strokes during the tournament off the forehand side, often running around his backhand. In their Madrid clash, the percentage of his forehands raised to 63%. There, Thiem was able to win twice more points in mid-range rallies, from 5 to 9 shots, 27 to 13, and direct one-third of his forehands down the line. Clearly, to win his maiden Grand Slam title he should repeat the same razor-sharp strategy. Easier to say than to do. To have a chance, the Austrian has to stay around the baseline and hit as more down-the-line backhands as possible, like he did in the particular conditions at La Caja Magica, and use the first shot after serve and return to get it early. On the other side, Nadal could use his extreme rotation, over 3.000 rounds per minute, to rely on his forehand. With such a weapon, the ultimate clay court hero is able to outmuscle his opponents and make the court shorter for himself. One of the problems that Thiem could encounter during the match details with his rigid stance towards the net. Serve and volley, net game, can become an answer or at least a way to give Nadal less power to work with. Consequently, is a way to lower the tempo of the rally. But we are expected to see Nadal call his opponent to the net more frequently. Thiem, as the semi-final against Marco Cecchinato testified, has more than a decent touch and knows how to react to a drop shot. But when he's in control of the point, he prefers to recur to the plan, hammering a streak of cross-court forehands to Nadal's backhand, then put his feet firmly inside the baseline and aim for a down-the-line winner. But winners contribute to a lesser percentage of his points in the tournament than the Spaniard, 30 to 33.4%, while his unforced errors, though that's a subjective and often unreliable stat, represented a larger part of his opponent's points. So, Thiem needs to walk on a thin line to become the third man in tennis history to beat Rafa Nadal at Roland Garros.